So in breaking news, an Israeli airstrike on the Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank has killed at least 6 Palestinians. The death toll has been rising rapidly in the past half hour. The Palestinian Red Crescent says others have been injured in the raid. Witnesses say at least 3 missiles were fired. Let's bring in Hamdah Salhut. She joins us from Jordan's capital, Amman. That's because Israel has banned Al-Jazeera from operating in Israel and in the occupied West Bank. So, Hamdah, what else can you tell us at this stage about this attack on Jenin?
Well, there's been no confirmation from the Israeli military on this drone strike that hit the Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. We know at least 6 Palestinians were killed, their bodies taken to the Jenin Governorate Hospital. But Israeli media is reporting that the target was a well-known fighter within the camp. It's worth noting, additionally, that the Israeli army, as well as Israeli politicians, have been talking about continuing and expanding their operations across the West Bank. It's become known as the silent war, parallel, side by side to what Israel is doing in Gaza, but not getting as much attention because, of course, the focus is on what is happening in Gaza. But nonetheless, since October of 2023, the Israeli military has significantly upped these raids and these drone strikes across the West Bank, saying that they're cracking down on armed Palestinian resistance. And in fact, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, has said that Israel's only going to continue to do that. They're going to expand that policy, that they're, quote, not going to allow the West Bank to turn into Gaza. But we have seen this type of action from the Israeli military, not just since the war began, but in fact, long before that, the Israeli military was conducting near nightly raids and restarting this policy of airstrikes and drone strikes in the West Bank nearly 2 years ago, after nearly 20 years of not seeing it. While we haven't heard from the Israeli military, they are going to release some sort of statement saying that they are conducting their regular routine operations, saying that whenever they have intelligence about some sort of target, that's when they strike. But again, this is a developing situation in the occupied West Bank.
And Hamdah, if you could just give us an idea of why Jenin refugee camp particularly is such a frequent target for the Israelis.
Well, Jenin is a stronghold of armed Palestinian resistance, and it has been for years. But the Israeli military has really cracked down on it within the last couple of years. But it's not just Israel. It's actually the Palestinian Authority as well, conducting their own raids there that have killed a number of Palestinians. In fact, fighters in the camp accused the PA of killing at least 19 people since the start of Israel's war on Gaza. And those numbers, when you count the number of Palestinians who've been killed by the Israeli military since the war started, it's nearly 800, with several thousand other arrests. Just last week, we were reporting on a different Israeli airstrike just north of in the northern part of the occupied West Bank that killed at least 2 children, and a raid in the town that preceded where they arrested 5 other young children. So the military says that they're conducting these operations as part of cracking down on armed Palestinian fighters. But Palestinians will tell you this is a reality of living under Israeli occupation. This is a collective punishment that they face every single day that they live under the occupation of the Israeli military.
Hamdah Salhut bringing us the very latest there from Amman. Many thanks indeed, Hamdah. Well, let's go to